We're heading out on an overland trail that starts in northern Wisconsin and ends at the top of Michigan's Upper Peninsula.
We're in Crandon, Wisconsin right now, right at the racetrack, the famous racetrack.
You can hear someone out there practicing.
Yeah, there's somebody out on the track right now. We're going to be doing the, it's a new trail, fairly new, the 7-hour plane crash trail. Is that what it's called, Cindy?
I believe so.
And I have no idea why it's called that, but we're going to do it anyways. It's something that a guy made up on his own and sharing the GPS tracks for it. And we're going to be heading pretty much straight north all the way to, how's it pronounced, Cindy? Keweenaw Peninsula?
Keweenaw.
Keweenaw Peninsula, all the way to Lake Superior. This is going to be great. And luckily joining us is the foremost authority on the UP Overland is Cindy from Northology Overland, and she is the founder of CORE, the Keweenaw Overland Adventure Retreat, held every year in September. You should check it out and check out her page, Northology. And we're going to get started on this.
Let's go.
Woohoo!
Before we get arrested at the racetrack. Now stay tuned to the very end of this video for our summary of the trail. The trail starts out on pavement, but I'm pretty sure that's going to change really soon. Well, about 5 miles in, we did hit gravel. Okay, on the GPS tracks, there's a little note that says there's this trail going back to a creek. This might not be a good idea. Well, this is it. Probably not worth coming all the way back in here for. Another small little detour off the route to go check out a couple of tiny lakes that we saw on the map. Okay, we could not get down to that lake, so we're going to try next door. Okay, roll them.
We got a great big convoy rocking through the night.
Well, that was fun. There was plenty of space to set up a camp down there by that little lake, but it's a little early in the day for us, so we're gonna get back on this road and see what's up ahead. Good morning. Yesterday we made it about halfway through the trail. We found a really nice dispersed campsite here right next to the Sturgeon River Wilderness. The trail so far is really pretty, really beautiful. Mostly, I would say probably 90%, 95% on gravel. And that's what it is. It's gravel service roads. So as long as it's not, you know, in early spring where the road is soft or anything, it could be done in two-wheel drive the entire way so far. Any size vehicle. It's really pretty easy. It's not really anything off-road unless you make it that way like we did yesterday. took another small detour away from the original map. We got on the Bill Nichols Trail just outside of Mass City, and now we're heading north. Came across a little bit of a snag. Seems that Cindy somehow picked up a railroad spike.
That's why
All right, let's see what happens if we can pull this out.
you know I'm keeping that spike as a souvenir.
Better. Well, we put about 5 plugs in there, and it's holding there, so I think we're good to go until she has to drive on the highway.
End of the trail.
Okay, so there's some big washouts on the trail, so we had to jump on highway, I think it's 26, if I'm not mistaken. And we're gonna go north on this until the trail crosses it, and we're gonna see if we can get back on it there. Now, getting fuel or food or anything else along the trail is no problem. You know, in any of the sections, you're really not that far away from a small town or a convenience store. Well, we hit another small snag. It seems that there's another washout on the trail, so we're gonna head back onto the highway. So we made it up to almost to the tip of the Keweenaw Peninsula. The trail actually officially ends a little further up at Copper Harbor. We're not quite there. Where are we about right now?
Between Eagle River and Eagle Harbor.
About Eagle Harbor or so. As you can see, this was really what we came to see. This is the kind of the highlight of the trip, ending up here at Lake Superior. Now, it's getting late in the day, and there is camping normally available at the end up by Copper Harbor. There's a state park, and there is some dispersed camping, but because of this whole COVID thing going on, everybody is out camping, it seems like. So, from what we've seen at other campgrounds along the way, they're really packed. So, we believe that everything is going to be filled up at the end of the trail. So instead of driving all the way up there, find out we have no place to camp, and then having to drive all the way back, we're gonna stop our trip right here. We think that we did a good trip. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. And so now, instead of camping here, we're gonna go elsewhere where we have a place to camp. And I really want to thank Cindy from Northology Overland. Again, I think I mentioned it at the beginning. Make sure you go to her website. What's your website?
northologyadventures.com.
Yep, and also check out the Overland event Core. And what does that stand for again?
Keweenaw Overland Adventure Retreat.
Yep, check that out. That's every September. To sum up the trail, I think that it it represents a great assortment of roadways and trails that are available to us to use in Michigan's Upper Peninsula.
I really enjoyed the narrow dirt paths that went through the forest.
Plenty of those.
There were a lot of logging roads that were pretty simple. And I enjoyed it when we got out up near Lake Superior.
Yeah, and this trail, it's nothing hardcore at all. In fact, it was fairly dry when we did it. So we only used four-wheel drive maybe twice for very, very short periods. And we probably didn't need it anyways. So it can be done with virtually any vehicle, any size vehicle. It could even be done with two-wheel drive unless it's been raining a lot where the trails are really muddy, or if it's in the springtime when the trails are really mushy with the frost coming out of the ground. Now, one suggestion that we would have is at the very north end of the trail up by Copper Harbor, camping is somewhat limited. There's a state park there, and there's a small amount of dispersed camping available. So during the busy times of the year, we would suggest making a reservation at the state park. That way you know you have a place to camp at the north end. Now, as the case with all these trails that individuals come up with and share with us, it's up to us to make certain that it's legal to be on these trails. In this instance, with the 7-hour plane crash trail, there was a segment that is north of Calumet City that actually went onto a ATV-only trail. Now, that's been amended on many of the tracks that people are sharing now, but just keep that in mind. And if you have any other suggested trails that come to you, you have to vet that information and make sure that you are legal driving down those roads and trails.
Remember, tread lightly, leave no trace, and stay the trail.
That way we can keep going on trails like this.
If this is your first time watching one of our videos and you'd like to see more, hit the subscribe button. And don't forget to ring the bell if you want to be notified.